Hytale, the Minecraft successor? Perhaps, but maybe not. This game is very much so its own thing. As a voxel sandbox, it is actually quite different from Minecraft, and also still has a height limit, built around a design much more similar to structured non-sandbox games than Minecraft. And it all comes down to the snowman prefab. Hello, I'm TonyTCB, aka jimmybob, and I love sandbox games. So much so, I'm currently building my own called Bob Simulator. More on that later. Hytale is a game made by Hypixel Studios. It is a non-linear adventure RPG sandbox voxel game inspired by Minecraft. The game blends structured RPG elements with sandbox construction and world edit tools. It was developed by Hypixel Studios after the creator, Simon Cullens, sold it to Riot Games, and then quickly bought it back after they screwed up development. Once the actual artists were back in control, we got this. How wonderful! So far, the game looks awesome. A real tour de force of sandbox-like RPG development, made by people who also love experienced modders. Very nice to see. No client mods, though. More on that later. So, is Minecraft doomed? Will Hytale replace Minecraft? No, because Hytale is not a sandbox game the way Minecraft is. What? But Hytale is so good! Yes, I agree. But Hytale is so much better! Nope. Minecraft is a sandbox of primitives. Hytale is a system of prefabs. What makes Minecraft special is that you make stuff yourself. Construction and possibilities are emergent from very simple foundations. Unlike a game like Garry's mod, where everything is prefabs, already fully built assets you can spawn in and play with. It's the difference between a Lego bin and a toy box. The Lego bin lets you make new stuff. The toy box, not so much. A toy box is full of finished toys, prefabs. They are prefabricated. A truck, a robot, a dinosaur. But Lego? Lego gives you pieces, and from those pieces, you invent entirely new things. Of course, Garry's mod lets you create dupes, custom constructions, weld stuff together and whatnot. Hytale doesn't have this at all. Instead, it has extensive mod support following its own modding API, optimized for more advanced users. Hytale is to Minecraft what Minecraft is to Garry's mod. Gmod allows very heavy creativity to make small or large things. Minecraft lets you pour out creativity to make large structures, and to a lesser extent, small and detailed constructions. Hytale lets you be creative making large structures too, but even then, it does it using prefabs. In vanilla Hytale, you don't make your own chairs, you just press a craft button on the chair you want and then use that one. Small constructions are mostly prefab based, not creativity based. This instead of that. Door prefabs instead of piston doors. Portal prefabs instead of custom shaped portals. Snowman prefab. I want to be clear, these criticisms are to do with the vanilla gameplay. Using mods, you can make Hytale more like Minecraft. You can also make Minecraft more like Hytale though, and to be clear, Hytale doesn't allow client mods. They legally bar reverse engineering of their code. Meanwhile, Mojang released code mappings of Minecraft's source code to make modding easier. And recently, Mojang has begun to ship the newest versions of Minecraft entirely deobfuscated. Maybe to make up for Mojang's new secret police, age restrictions, and chat control. Who could have seen that coming? I don't want a snowman. I don't want a fancy door. I want to build my snowman. I want to build my fancy door. I want to make a world of my own. I don't want a special Lego door piece. I want to build a door with Lego. Sandbox games are tools, not crutches. Take this Minecraft stadium. It's beautiful. Look at these seats. They emanate creativity. Except they are minecarts. The simple art style makes it not matter though. The game leaves you free to imprint your own meaning. It's your meaning, your seats. If these minecarts were more realistic in texture and shape, this simply wouldn't work. The more realistic a game becomes, the harder it becomes to reinterpret objects. A realistic chair can only be a chair, but a Minecraft block can be anything depending on how you use it. Now let's see what this would look like in Hytale. My point is proven for me. This isn't creative at all in the same way. What chairs are these? One of like 7 options. Not options I paid to create, not unique options, rather intended and pre-made assets. Not my chairs, just generic chair assets. It's similar to the difference between an asset flip and a game you build all by yourself. It's the difference between a real artist and an AI prompt artist. The AI does all the work, the game does all the work. All you get to do is say the word chair. Hytale is a great game, don't get me wrong, but it is not a sandbox game in the way Minecraft is. It is ultimately a non-linear RPG first and foremost. It's its own thing. Minecraft almost functions like a game engine, more than a mere game. Hytale does the opposite. Minecraft allows people to express their soul into it. Hytale allows people to play Hytale. What makes Minecraft so special is this fact, is everything I've said, and it is for that reason Hytale will not replace Minecraft. The essence of Minecraft, the essence of the true sandbox game, is this. If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe. What I'm getting at is that Hytale is hand-holding. The movement is floaty and bubbly. The jumping, being 2 blocks in height, is convenient, but makes climbing up mountains much less of an accomplishment, especially when the height limit is still 320. Why try to make your own chair when you can craft a chair? Well, maybe there's a great variety of different ways to craft a chair, and you can, customize it. Nah, you just hit a button. Crafting is super simplified. Defined correct items for specific purposes. Artificial limitations. No equivalent redstone or electrical circuitry wiring system. Snowman prefab. What Hytale ultimately is a voxel action RPG adventure game with monsters, fantasy elements, and building mechanics. Very clearly, the developers behind Hytale care a lot about mod support and complex building mechanics. The game features an extensive modding API, though hard to use. Minecraft, on the other hand, is an actual sandbox. It's digital Legos. It's more of a creative engine than a game. What made Minecraft so special is that anything you can think of, anything you can dream, the game gives you tools to make it real. Yes, Hytale supports mods too, but we haven't seen anything like this, or especially this. Minecraft is the kind of game where experiments happen, where experiments are meant to happen. Immersive portals, command blocks, redstone computers, coding all of Pokemon Red in Minecraft. The true sandbox is not prefab-based, it's primitive-based. It's based on bare-bones pieces that possibilities emerge from. The true sandbox is a Lego bin. Okay. So what kind of game could take over? What kind of game could replace Minecraft? Or at least do what Minecraft does that no other game really does? The thing that makes Minecraft different is its game mechanics are modular. As I've talked about, Minecraft gives you base elements from which you can construct a universe. For a game to do what Minecraft does, a hypothetical game must contain modular mechanics as well. Creativity must emerge from base elements. You must have a true sandbox game more similar to the Lego bin than the random toy bin. Those base elements must be so generalizable that anything you can imagine you could, in some way, recreate in-game. Garry's mod, to my knowledge, is closest to recreating this feeling. It tries this, but it has specific limitations, namely physics lag, an art style limited to apocalypse, limited texturing, and difficult building, and of course, reliance on prefabs. In Minecraft, all blocks are locked to a grid. A height limit and a lack of multi-threading leads to limits on world generation that don't actually need to exist. Minecraft is blocks, items, and entities. All items can be picked up, making them hard to decorate with. Entities move around, making them hard to use as set pieces. In Java Edition especially, you can get around the problems with items and entities using entity data to make entities not move or make items not be pick-upable. But this is heavily version dependent. Height limits and locked to a grid mentality continue to be a problem though. Some mods try to improve upon this, like the Create mod and the mods that let you make sailboats. The core game is what has these flaws though. If a game existed that fixed these flaws, while keeping and possibly expanding upon the modularity of game mechanics, including a modding API that is easier to use, then yes, it is possible for a game to do what Minecraft does. So, why is any of this important? I'm making a sandbox game called Bob Simulator. I plan for it to contain, well, all of this. And the thing is, the current sandbox game competition is crap. Minecraft, on fire. Mojang's been on fire with age restriction stuff. Secret chat police. What? Player reporting. Garry's mod? Lacks broad appeal, and is limited to more specific kinds of creation. Also, physics are laggy. but Gabe will protect. Roblox? Terraria? Actually pretty good, but only 2D. Other games like Kerbal Space Program or City Skylines are too specific in theme to compete here. Rec Room is decent as a VR sandbox game, but will be shut down by June 1st after bad development. So what's left? Minecraft, Gmod, Hytale, and VR chat? Whether you agree with my take on Hytale or not, there is a gap in the industry. These games are all very different and Minecraft is special and fundamentally different from the rest of them. My game Bob Simulator is planned to be a cross-platform 3D sandbox game with many features including procedural worlds, proximity voice chat support, procedural space travel, quests and other RPG mechanics, a built-in modding API, among other things. I will talk more about it in future videos. The game will involve you and your friends working to defeat the evil space emperor Flabberjack. This is important because it adds to the modularity of the game. I'm just kidding. All that lore about Flabberjack was nonsense. He's actually a pirate. Anyway, I've released a small prototype demo of Bob Simulator's city and very simple space exploration. The demo is free and open source. You can get it on my website. Ignore that the jumping in the demo is kind of broken. The latest version in development has jumping that works using raycasts, which work perfectly. The fact that the sandbox industry is experiencing so much disaster right now is proof that not only has rapid copyright abuse been a complete failure, but modern copyright law has directly frustrated the interests of all of the individuals who love these games, people like me. That is terrible, and the reason I made that video about the flaws of modern copyright law. To be clear, I am not a libertarian, because economic demand and what people actually want are two very different things. They are right about one thing though. Intellectual property rights, and copyright by extension, constitutes state aggression under most interpretations of libertarian theory. They are also correct that abuse of copyright is one of the biggest reasons why tech monopolies can exist. Of course, one of the biggest reasons doesn't mean it's the only reason. And again, economic demand and what individuals want is not equivalent. That is why it's important to recognize that markets can naturally centralize. The interest of the individual is more important than what the market selects for. The market is merely a proxy for actual interests. The ability for the individual to fulfill their own interests, to defend their own ends, is what is actually important here. All normative arguments eventually come back to goals, preferences, or interests. This concept I call Yogism, or Yog interest theory. You can find a link to it in the description. Check it out if you're interested. Don't ask what Yog comes from, it's a surprise tool that'll help us later. More on that in future videos too. Anyway, before we wrap up, my Discord server is now accessible from my website. That's all from me. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my next video.